You. Yes, you. Right now. Are you sitting down? Good. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to make you want to stand up and never stop. Sitting, just sitting, might be quietly destroying your body. And the suits. They never told you. Until now. Alright, listen up, everybody. We spend our entire modern lives in chairs. Office chairs, car seats, couches, you name it. Millennials alone are clocking more than 60 hours of sitting every single week. 60. That's more time than a full-time job. And the research, piling up like unpaid invoices on a pencil pusher's desk, is screaming that this is a catastrophe in slow motion. Heart disease. Diabetes. Early death. And it hits you even if you're young. Even if you exercise. We're going to break it all down. The mainstream science. The critics who say, hold on a second. The internet theorists who went full tinfoil. And then the verdict. Strap in, or better yet, stand up while you watch this. Here's what the scientists and doctors will tell you, loud and clear. A landmark study involving nearly 500,000 people found that sitting for too long at work significantly increases your risk for heart disease and death. Not maybe. Not a little bit. Death. Sports cardiologist Dr. Tamanna Singh of the Cleveland Clinic put it plainly, when you don't stay on top of movement throughout the day, you lose your ability to control blood pressure, lower cholesterol, manage blood sugar, and prevent diabetes. That's 4 catastrophic health failures. From sitting in your chair. Like a normal person. The Mayo Clinic reports that people who sit more than 8 hours a day with no physical activity face a risk of dying comparable to the risks of obesity and smoking. You heard that right. Sitting in your chair is in the same conversation as lighting up a cigarette. Those bozo health insurers better start asking how many hours you spend at a desk. The American College of Cardiology published findings in November 2024 showing that more than roughly 10.5 hours of sedentary behavior per day increases your risk of cardiovascular disease and death, and this is true even for people who exercise regularly. And Yale Medicine ties it together. Prolonged sitting is linked to diabetes, poor heart health, weight gain, depression, dementia, and multiple cancers. That's not a side effect. That is a full-blown biological revolt happening inside your body every single day. Now, before you throw your chair out the window, let's hear from the folks who say the mainstream picture is a little too dramatic. Some researchers and science journalists push back on the simple narrative of sitting equals death. An international study highlighted by Science Alert found that the dangers of sitting are significantly more pronounced in low-income nations like Bangladesh, India, and Zimbabwe, suggesting that poverty, nutrition, healthcare access, and overall activity context matter enormously alongside chair time. Context, people. Context. NPR reported on research suggesting that not all sitting is the same. Sitting at a desk might carry different risks than sitting while commuting or watching television. The type, context, and pattern of sedentary behavior changes the equation. You think those overpaid researchers are distinguishing between your ergonomic office chair and your broken-down lazy boy? They should be. The Cleveland Clinic study itself conceded that to offset risks, people just need 15 to 30 minutes of activity per day, and it doesn't even have to be intense. Walking counts. Critics argue the doom and gloom headlines sometimes bury that lead. The solution isn't quitting your desk job, it's just moving a little more. And here's the truly uncomfortable alternative perspective. A CU Boulder study of over 1,000 people including 730 twins found that meeting the minimum recommended exercise guidelines, about 20 minutes of moderate exercise per day, is not enough to counter the hazards of prolonged sitting in young adults. The researchers say you need more vigorous exercise, less sitting, or both. So even the critics who say, just exercise more, might be underselling the fix. Online communities have circulated several unverified theories about this topic. 1. Big furniture suppression. Some online forums claim that furniture companies and office supply corporations have long lobbied against ergonomic research and standing desk subsidies to keep workers chained to standard chairs and buying replacements, deliberately burying evidence of sitting's dangers to protect sales. 2. The sitting disease, pharmaceutical racket. A theory circulating on health skeptic blogs holds that the framing of sitting disease was largely manufactured or amplified by pharmaceutical companies and supplement brands to create anxiety and drive sales of metabolism-boosting pills, anti-inflammatory products, and office wellness programs. 3. Corporate productivity plot. Some commenters on social media claim that the push for standing desks and walk-and-talk meetings in Silicon Valley is not about health at all, but about keeping workers in a more anxious, less settled mental state, because a standing worker is allegedly more alert, compliant, and less likely to zone out or unionize at their desk. 4. Government activity trackers. A fringe theory suggests that fitness tracker and smartwatch companies pushed the "sitting kills you" narrative in coordination with health agencies to manufacture demand for wearable surveillance technology that collects biometric data on populations without meaningful consent. Here's where it gets interesting. Where does everybody agree? The mainstream scientists, the alternative critics, and even the conspiracy crowd all agree on one thing: the modern sedentary lifestyle is a problem. Nobody, not the researchers, not the skeptics, not the tinfoil crowd, is saying, sit more, it's fine. That's remarkable consensus. Where do they diverge? The mainstream says the danger is biologically clear and urgent. The critics say the danger is real but overstated in headlines, highly context-dependent, and manageable with modest interventions. The fringe takes that gap of uncertainty and drives a Mack truck through it, blaming shadowy industry forces for everything from your bad posture to your Fitbit. The biggest legitimate debate is this: can exercise cancel out sitting? The latest research says no, not fully. 10+ hours of sitting a day is damaging even for active people. That is genuinely alarming, and it's where the mainstream science is most unsettling. Alright. I'm going to say something I hate saying. The boring answer is also the correct answer. The evidence is overwhelming and consistent. Sitting for long, unbroken stretches, especially more than 8 to 10 hours a day, raises your real, measurable risk of heart disease, diabetes, obesity, depression, dementia, and early death. This is not a pharma conspiracy. This is not manufactured panic. 500,000 people were in one of these studies. 500,000. The good news, and I am furious that there is good news, is that the fix is not complicated. Move more. Sit less. Break up long sitting with short bouts of walking. Get more than just the minimum exercise if you can. You don't need $1,000 standing desk. You don't need a smartwatch tracking your every move. You need to get up. Walk. Repeat. The conspiracy theories? Entertaining. Unproven. Focus on the real scandal, that we built an entire civilization of chairs and then acted surprised when our bodies started breaking down. Stand up. Right now. Stretch. Walk around. Then come back and smash that subscribe button, because I've got more uncomfortable truths lined up, and I am not done exposing them. You think this was alarming? You haven't seen anything yet.